Hello, everybody. Welcome to Youth Connect. I'm Aiden.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
I'm Nibras.
I'm Logan.
I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to our Youth Connect. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome episode of Youth Connect. I hope that you're excited for a whole bunch of exciting news. So I should probably say to you, welcome. And also for anybody who doesn't know, anybody who's just joining in, what in the world is Youth Connect? Well, Youth Connect was a news, interest, entertainment show that was created during the pandemic for the community, by the community. And everyone here is of all abilities, are really big into becoming broadcasters, entertainers, and really want to get into jobs like directing, writing, acting as chefs, speakers, musicians, you name it, and we want to do it. But mainly, I also want to say I hope that you are looking forward to Youth Connect. So what's going on first? If you know with Youth Connect, the first thing that we always have to start off with is some gaming news. Okay, guys, so some gaming news. Here we go. Are you guys ready? Well, obviously, we always have to do that Spotlight Game of the Week, which is a game that I think you will be interested in that has either come out recently, is coming out, or is an old classic. And it's a game that just came out today. And why am I tackling this one? Well, it's one of my favorite games in the whole wide world and one of my favorite series. I'm going to be talking about the amazing game, which is Pikmin 4. So what in the world is Pikmin 4? Well, I want to talk about first what the heck the story's all about in Pikmin 4. Well, you are actually part of a special task force called the Rescue Corps. And as you heard, on a strange planet, you have to find a brand new person named Captain Olimar, a great explorer that has traveled to multiple places, rebuilding his ship from scratch, and so many stories about him collecting treasure, collecting ship parts, you name it, he has done it. He is an amazing captain. So, but as you approach the planet's atmosphere, the Rescue Corps ship collapses and malfunctions, which causes everything to crash and the entire ship to fall apart. Now it's time for you to repair the rescue ship, recover Captain Olimar, and save the crewmates of the Rescue Corps. You got a lot on your plate, but how are you going to do it? You're just a singular human. There's no way that you can complete this amazing task and so many things that you have to do. Well, don't worry. You will also meet Pikmin. Now, what are Pikmin? They are small plant-like creatures with distinct abilities that can grow, pluck, and guide and overpower enemies with. So, you got to use your Pikmin's miniature might and a little bit of strategy to explore this mysterious planet in search of your crew and treasure. It is an amazing game, guys. This is the fourth in the series, and I gotta say, I've been playing it myself, and it is a great introduction into the Pikmin series. It's very slow and starts off pretty nice, but it's also a ton of fun if you're an old Pikmin fan, because you know what? It adds new bosses, new enemies, new treasures, and trust me, if you guys know Pikmin well, they added treasures and they added fruits, which are also treasures. So it has a little bit of mix of Pikmin 2, a little bit of Pikmin 3. It's really, really, really fun. It's something new, something fun, but it's not like Pikmin 3, guys. Don't worry. You only have one person to control. So make sure to check out Pikmin 4, which is only exclusively on the Nintendo Switch. But next up is Kevin with some all-important news, but I just cannot wait to hear his interesting fact of the day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Youth Connect with me, Kevin Aruja. Now, let's get to our headlines. Fans ate a record-breaking number of hot dogs at Rogers Center Tuesday night. Fed slowed down timeline for faster Toronto-Quebec City Railway. Members from several First Nations rally against Northern Ontario mining plans. And Arjun Namala fits right in with Blue Jays organization. Fans at Rogers Center ate a record-breaking amount of loony dogs on Tuesday night, according to the organization. The Toronto Blue Jays faced off against the San Diego Padres at Rogers Center Tuesday, a game that would see them lose 9 out of 1 to the Padres. To us, to assuage the heartbreak of the loss, fans were able to purchase hot dogs for just $1, a recurring event at Rogers Center, in which crowd attempts to consume as many of the hot dogs as possible. On Tuesday, that record was broken. The Jays said that the day after the game, on Tuesday night, a record-breaking 75,173 Looney Dogs were sold. The team said it on Twitter, with 42,680 fans in attendance, with 1.7 hot dogs per person were consumed on Wednesday on average. The previous record was set this past May when 61,111 Looney Dogs were consumed. The federal government has slowed the timeline on the faster passenger railway set to stretch from Toronto to Quebec City. The Transport Minister Omar Al-Gabra said on Thursday he hopes the high-frequency rail line will be running by the mid-2030s, rather than early 2030s, which he projected as recently as March. At his press conference at the Montreal Central Station, the ministry announced a request for proposals from 3 consortia that had made it on a shortlist, the latest step in an enterprise announced in July 2021. That year, Al-Kabra pegged the likely cost at between $6 billion and $12 billion, but he declined to put a rough price tag on the undertaking on Thursday, stating that the government will first have to assess the proposals. A high-speed rail corridor would require hundreds of millions of dollars on construction of underpasses alone, since the ZP lines could not host road crossing, said Vincent Robitaille. My apologies. Transport Canada's Assistant Deputy Minister of the High Frequency Rail. Other infrastructure such as uninterrupted fences would also be necessary. Holy. On top of a by and from a bevy of local and provincial governments. The passenger car are expected to pass through Montreal, Trois-Rivières, and other Quebec and Ontario municipalities that sit between Toronto and Quebec City, running to the 200 kilometers per hour. The corridor would also include stops in Ottawa and Peterborough, Ontario. Members of several First Nations rallied outside the Ontario legislature on Thursday to raise concern about mining exploration they said is happening on their lands against their will. Indigenous leaders and community members said they weren't consulted as mining prospectors state claims on their territories. They also pushed back against the province plans to expand mining in the mineral-rich Ring of Fire region, about 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay. In February, the First Nations, Grassy Narrows, Wapekaka, Neskantaga, and Big Trout Lake First Nations said they formed an alliance to defend their lands and waters after mining prospectors staked thousands of new claims on their lands over the last few years. They said they wanted the provincial government to seek their communities' informed consent before allowing companies to explore the First Nations lands for precious minerals. The Muskrat Dam First Nation has since joined the alliance, and Turtle of Grassy Narrows said he hopes more communities become part of a group. Grassy Narrows First Nation, located about 100 kilometers northeast of Kenora, Ontario, has said it has seen about 4,000 mining claims on its land since 2018, when Ontario government allowed any licensed prospector to register a mining claim online for a small fee. In sports news, as soon as Arjun Nirmala arrived in Toronto, he knew he belonged with the Blue Jays. This 17-year-old shortstop was picked 20th overall by the Blue Jays at Major League Baseball amateur draft on July 9th. He visited Toronto and his past weekend to tour Rogers Center, meet the club's front office, and finalize his ever professional best baseball contract, which was made official on Monday. Nirmala's visit to Toronto was the first time he met with Atkins in person, and the new Blue Jays prospect made a first impression of the GM. Nirmala spends the past 4 seasons playing the Strawberry Crest High School in Dover in Florida. The 6'1", 170-pound Tampa native finished the 2023 high school season with 35 hits and 29 run battle and across 25 games. He hit .382 with 82 with 22 doubles, sorry, 3 triplets, and 9 home run across 77 career games at the high school levels. Namala is the highest drafted person of Indian descent in any of North America's 4 major sports. No Indian American has ever played in an MLB game. He said that he's eager to connect with the sizable South Asian community in the Greater Toronto area when he makes the Blue Jays Major League roster. In today's weather forecast, we've got a risk of thunderstorms this afternoon. The temperature is now 26 degrees, and tomorrow it will get sunny and the temperature will be 27 degrees. And now for the topics for interesting fact, I want to talk about Tiger. Yeah, you see that on behind me? It looks like it's about to catch me when I'm making news. So, just kidding, just a picture. So, so we're going to talk about International Tiger Day, which is 29th of July. So there's no better time to learn about these fascinating big cats. The Global Tiger Day is celebrated every year on 29th of July to raise awareness about this magnificent but endangered big cat. The day was founded in 2010 when the 13 tiger range countries came together to create TX2, the global goal to double the number of wild tigers by the year 2022, which is last year. These amazing animals captured the imagination of humans for their massive size and majestic power. But did you know that they have antiseptic saliva? That they have false eyes on the back of their ears, or that no two striped patterns are the same. Tigers are the largest wildcats in the world. Male tigers can weigh up to 680 pounds. A tiger tail is 3 feet long. The fur of most tiger is light yellow on the belly and deep yellow or orange on the back. Dark stripes over a tiger's head, body, and legs. There are also black rings on the tail. Some tigers are white with black stripes of all white. And now for the facts about tigers. Tigers have soft toe pads which help them walk silently through their habitat, like, being a sneaky tiger. During the day, a tiger's stripes can act as camouflage, which is interesting. I never know about they can act as camouflage. Tigers have distinctive white circular spots on the back of them, ears that function as false eyes. They make the tiger seem bigger to potential predator attacking from the rear. Tigers are carnivores, which means they eat meat eaters. Yeah, meat eaters. Tigers like to eat large mammals like deer, antelope, and buffalo. They generally avoid very large animals such as elephants and bears. They also try to stay away from people. So looks like tiger is becoming a best friend for people. Tigers tend to hunt for food alone and at night. They quietly stalk their prey and kill them with a bite to the neck or back of the head. Tigers have night vision. Their eyes have a special structure which leads them 6 times better than a normal human. Wow. With that, we come to the end of my segment. Tune in for next week's news, weather, and very interesting fact. And I'm seeing you back to Aiden. See you next Friday.
Okay, let me just say this. I am kind of disappointed. I can't believe that there's going to be thunderstorms. I mean, obviously, yesterday there was a lot of thunder, so it makes sense that there's going to be more thunderstorms. And also, I absolutely love tigers. I didn't know that they had hearing that's 6 times more than what we can hear. It makes me wonder what kind of interesting noises they can get around hearing. So I will say for everybody else, I love tigers, but do you guys like tigers? Are tigers cool or are they scary? I want to ask that question.
They're
They're
scary.
scary?
Yeah, scary.
Okay,
Like,
that makes sense.
yeah,
It is scary.
yeah, it
But
is scary.
Well, I don't know. I've seen people have pet tigers. I've seen people have
Right,
pet
but
lions.
right,
Yes,
like yeah,
You know what? Sometimes it's just it depends on how they are raised.
right.
But you know what? Okay, I can see some people are scared of tigers, but I
even
love
panthers
tigers.
are scared
Tigers
too.
are awesome.
Like lions, tigers, they're scary creatures.
Mhm.
Well, they definitely are scary. They have big, big teeth. Ooh.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, Kevin. for your interesting fact of the day and, of course, your awesome news. It's always great to hear it. And now it's time to move to our second gaming news. So I will talk about this, and do be excited because I got two news for you that are based off of something amazing. So guys, technology has been quite advancing. It's been advancing by literally leaps and bounds, inventing new things day by day. But something interesting that I've been thinking about in video games, which I need to talk about, is what happens if I had a suit that made me feel like I was being attacked in a video game? Like if I was playing Assassin's Creed, would I feel a knife stab into me? Oh no, I've been struck by a sword. Well, something absolutely amazing is coming out. And Ubisoft is actually trying to emulate that same idea with a haptic feedback shirt. Well, I'm going to be talking about the OWO haptic gaming system. And I will say, that's quite a name you got there. It's a teched out shirt used in some VR setups to give players some physical feedback on their bodies that coincide with actions in a video game. Now, guys, while Assassin's Creed isn't a VR game, Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to be an interesting one because Ubisoft is partnering with the manufacturer to make an Assassin's Creed branded shirt that has the game's logo and will be implementing haptic functionality with the game on all systems. So guys, if you have the shirt, that means that you can feel the weapons attack you in real life. Now, according to the OWO website, the haptic feedback in the shirt will let you, quote unquote, feel the precise movements when you take down your targets. On the flip side, it sounds like you will also feel the consequences of incoming attacks as well. So I guess if you want to be feel like you are being the approximation of being stabbed with a sword, I guess this is for you. So guys, as of now, the Assassin's Creed version of this shirt is not available to order, but the standard edition will run you up 499 euros, which, how much is that? It's approximately 560 US dollars, which is approximately around 800, which is quite a lot of money, guys. 700 to 800 bucks. Listen, the video game probably only costs 90. I don't think I want to spend $800 on a shirt that makes me feel like I'm being stabbed. Listen, I'm all about VR and all that, but this is going a little bit too far, in my honest opinion. And even if you order it, it won't show up for 3 months after you order it. So it remains to be seen if the Assassin's Creed shirt will cost more or less than the original version. So we don't know too much information about it, but this haptics suit kind of like shirt thing is supposed to be innovative and is going to be revolutionizing the world of VR and virtual reality. It's pretty interesting. So now, next up, I would be saying next up is Joshua, but I got you a good story news. And guys, I'm going to blow your mind because guess what? I want to talk about another good story news that's related to haptic shirts, or a haptic suit technically. So guys, over a year ago, there was this man named Daniel Belcure, a musician and theater artist. And he was asked to join a team whose objective was to improve the live music experience for people who are deaf or hard of hearing or suffering from audio processing. So what did he do? He collaborated with Avnet engineers and resulted in the birth of a lightweight haptic suit with 24 actuators or vibrating plates. So guys, basically what happens is that on the vest, it secures securely on the torso. It's like a hiking backpack. And then basically what happens is that the vibrations of the music and the people that sing get implemented into the suit so they can feel the music. That's amazing, guys. The same haptic engineering used in video games is also being used in this amazing endeavor to bring people together with varying hearing capabilities and a harmonious celebration of joy and inclusivity. And you guys know we absolutely adore inclusivity because that's literally what we're all about. Remember, we talk about the human diversities. It's literally transformational, and it includes some inclusion and accessibility. Obviously, I don't know how much it's going to cost, But just the fact that this man named Daniel created something that is going to benefit those who are deaf or hard of hearing or suffer from audio processing, you know what? I say keep it up, Daniel, and keep creating these amazing things that keep people all about inclusivity. Well done, Daniel. So, who is up next? If you know Youth Connect well, next up will be Nibras. And what is he bringing us? He's going to be bringing us your entertainment and podcast news. I hope you're ready.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys today? My name is Nibras Khan, and I'm used for the entertainment news. Let's get straight to our top story. And our top story is about the Lost City directing duo Aaron and Adam Lee will reportedly control a new Lego movie. Yes, a new Lego movie with the project expected to bring the bricks and the live action world together. According to a report, this new Lego movie will be a new hybrid live action animation from around the Lego franchise. The filmmakers having signed a pact with the Universal and the Lego Group long before the WGA strike began. This is especially true of the Nee brothers have a deal at Universal to develop a new hybrid live action film around the Lego movie. Universal has signed a 5-year partnership with the Lego Group in 2020 to produce new films and series based on the toys. Released in 2014, the first Lego movie is a 3D animated movie that follows an ordinary Lego construction worker who finds himself predicted as the special and is recruited to join a quest to stop an evil tyrant from transforming the Lego universe into an eternal stillness. Yes. Written and directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, against all odds, the Lego movie was met with critical acclaim and has since spawned a sequel and several spin-offs, including the Lego Batman movie. While details of how this new installments will take a somewhat meta approach to the story, introducing a live-action world inhabited by likes of Will Ferrell as usual as a real-life businessman and his family. Could the Lego Movie 3, helmed by the Nee brothers, and see the Lego and the human worlds collide? We'll have to wait and see. Yes, so I'm very excited about this. Again, some stories I do when they're releasing, some I do in middle, and some I do when they're scratching the world. So this is a scratching. It's just a basically a small story. Lego 3 will happen. It will take some time, maybe next year, maybe 2025. Who knows? But I love the first one. I love the second one. And it's just a great movie. It's like people say it's for kids, but I do not say that. And it's because it's just a really nice movie. Both of them, especially the first one, is so 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 crucial for me because I was like very young when I saw it, and it just became so good for me. So again, it will come next year. It could come 2025. You never know. This is just a scratch. They haven't even started with the cast and stuff. It's just a scratch small story like I said before. Again, it could happen or it couldn't. It just could stop. Anyways, we'll wait and we'll have to wait and see. Now to my second story. Now my second story is now before I go to my second story, I'll let you get the fact of the day. And today's fact of the day is drum roll please. I don't have my table, so I'm doing it on the laptop. Did you guys know when a bald eagle loses a feather on one wing, it will automatically lose a feather on the other in order to keep a balance? Did you guys know that? I did not know that. And isn't it a great fact? It's just when it loses a feather on one side, it will automatically lose a feather on the other side to keep it balanced. Imagine one feather could move the balance of a bald eagle. Isn't that amazing? I did not know that. If you like the fact, comment down below. Now to my second story. Now my second story is not a podcast. It's a different approach. It is a funny story. It is a story that happened with me. This really happened. So one day we had a morning party at the hall. As you know, my family owns it, so I work here. So my brother and I are managers. We handle the servers, we handle the floor, how the party is going. So we had a morning party, and like I was working for the past 4 or 5 days, and it was the last day. And the next day we didn't have any party, so I came in the morning. I did the party at like 3 o'clock. I went by an Uber because I was very tired. And then when I went home, I had to wake up my brother and to send him to the evening party so he could control the evening party. When I went there, he rang the bell. No one answered. I knocked, rang the bell again, called him. He didn't knock. And then I automatically knew what the problem was. I did unlock the door, but it wasn't unlocking. The keypad, it was not unlocking. So the problem with my brother is he has this habit whenever he comes, because that day in the morning he went to get some food or something. So when he came back to the house, he locked the upstairs. It's a wood. You just lock it. It will unlock the door. So he did that, and once that happens, you cannot unlock the door even with the keypad. So I was knocking. It was so cold. This happened like last December, so it was very cold. I was wearing a jacket, so it doesn't matter. Hands freeze. It's very cold for like 1.5 hours. I was just sitting there. I was just knocking, ringing the bell like so many times. So I went to my backyard. There was this, like a chair, and what I decided, I went to my neighbor. I borrowed their broom, and then I stepped onto the chair, and I banged his window with the long broomstick. They had a broom. Bang, bang, bang. He woke up. Went downstairs, and he automatically knew what happened because he sometimes forgets and then just locks the door. And it's a very funny story now that happened, but it was very cold, and he did apologize. Of course, it was his fault because, again, the things happen like that. You just have to go past. It was then after that it was a nice day. Anyways, this was just a funny story. It was a story, and next time it will be a different story. Or it will be a podcast. Who knows? But if you like my section, just comment down below. And that's all for me. As always, this is Nibras Khan from Youth Connect. I'll see you all next week. Thank you. Take care. Back to Eden. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Now, I will say, Nebraska, can I just hear one more time? The first news you said that there was going to be a new Lego movie. Is
Yeah,
that what
the
you said?
Lego Movie 3.
Oh,
There's like two
that
movies,
sounds
but there's going to
brilliant.
be a Lego Movie 3. Right.
I love Lego Movie 1 and 2. I actually loved all the Lego movies. Any
Yeah,
Lego
yeah,
movie, the
yeah.
Batman
I
Lego
like
movie,
the
the Lego movie
first
1
Lego
and
movie.
2, they were all great series. I will
Yeah,
ask,
so
has anybody
yeah.
here watched the Lego movie? Or
I
the Lego
did see
Batman?
the first one. I like the
I think
first one.
I've seen the
Yeah,
first
same
one.
here.
All right, everyone's seen it. So now who's excited for Lego Movie 3? Me, I'm
I
excited.
do,
But
but
it
I
will
like
take
the
a long
original
time, like
Lego
I said.
movie.
Again, it's
Like
rumors.
Bionicle
It's
one
rumors, but
from
it's still
Avengers, yeah.
exciting rumors.
Yeah.
I do love the original Bionicle movie. I grew up liking it.
Yeah.
That is a
The Mask
that
of
is a
Light,
classic.
Vandal Legends.
I haven't seen I haven't seen much of Bionicles or like Ninjago or things like that, but I know that the movies for the Lego movies were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you so much, Nebraska. And also, I just want to say I did not know that about eagles, but that makes sense if they lose their
Yeah,
balance,
it's
then
nice
they can't
about
fly.
nature, right? Right. It balances itself.
A little bit of
Yeah.
nature facts. It definitely is exciting to hear about them. Thank you so much, Nebraska. Always great to hear about it. And guys, it is time. This brings us to our final gaming news. And what's our final gaming news? Well, it has to be our board game of the week. It's similar to our video game of the week, but now it's a board game. Now, what is this board game? Well, today's board game of the week is called Cascadia. And what is Cascadia? Let me go over the bases. It is a puzzly, tile laying, and token drafting game featuring the habitats and wildlife of the Pacific Northwest. In the game, you take turns building out your own terraria area and populating it with wildlife. And you start with 3 hexagonal habitat tiles. And on your turn, you choose a new habitat tile that's paired with a wildlife token. And basically, you're basically you're applying a little bit of wildlife with the terrain area, and you're combining them together so that you can build the most terrain and host the most amount of wildlife in your habitat. So basically, what's the end of the game? You're going to be collecting a whole bunch of points. You can collect them by the number of points scored, by either collecting land, by putting down wildlife. And you know what? At the end of the game, whoever has the most wildlife in their habitat wins. It's a pretty interesting game all about nature, and I love a game all about nature. It definitely has a lot more components, like, for example, being able to match terrain that reduces fragmentation or wildlife corridors. There is a lot of things to consider. So you got to check out this game if you love wildlife and if you love the Pacific Northwest. And if you know it well, I recommend that you check out Cascadia. But I'm going to keep the train moving because you know who's up next. Next up is going to be Logan, but I just cannot wait to hear what cooking knowledge he has since substituting was the final one last week. What is he going to be sharing today?
Hello, everyone. I am Logan, and as Aiden suggested, I'm here to introduce my next series. And this series will be all about the different sauces that you can make in cooking. And for this first part, I will be talking about the 5 French mother sauces. These sauces are bechamel, velouté, espagnole, tomato sauce, and hollandaise. So, first I have to talk a little bit about the first 3, bechamel, velouté, and espagnole, because they all start the exact same way, with a roux. Now, a roux is a 1-to-1 ratio of fat and flour cooked inside of a saucepan. So, to talk about the first one, it's going to be bechamel. Now, to make bechamel, you need a 1-to-1 ratio of butter and flour, and you just got to cook this in a saucepan until it smells a bit like pie dough, you should say. Like, you know that scent of like a freshly baked pastry? Anyway, once the roux smells like that, you just slowly, very slowly incorporate in whole milk. And afterwards, you season it with salt, pepper, and nutmeg. And that's it. That is your bechamel done. Now, bechamel is an excellent base for many cream and cheese-based sauces. It's good for stuff like Alfredo sauce or mac and cheese sauces, all that good stuff. So the next sauce I will go over is velouté. This is, once again, like the bechamel, the roux starts with a 1-to-1 ratio of butter and flour, but this time you want to cook it a little longer until it enters something called the blonde stage. So basically the color is a little more darker yellow than with a bechamel. From there you slowly stream in a very light stock, something like a light chicken stock, a vegetable stock, a fish sauce, a fish stock. And from there, you simply season it with salt and pepper. Now, this is pretty similar to how a gravy is actually made. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. Both of them require using a roux, and both of them use stock. Although velouté is commonly used as a base for some savory cream sauces, stuff like sauce supreme and sauce allemande. So the final roux-based sauce I'll talk about is sauce espagnole. For this one, you want a 1-to-1 ratio of oil and flour. Now, you may be wondering, why oil? Why can't I use butter like the last 2? And that's because we have to cook this roux very long until it enters the dark stage. And when cooking a roux to a dark stage, it is very likely to burn carefully if you're not careful. And with butter, it's almost guaranteed it will burn. So yeah, you want to use a very high smoke point oil like vegetable oil. And you also want to cook the roux with mirepoix. And so what mirepoix is basically just diced up onions, carrots, and celery. So after your roux has entered the dark stage, you want to slowly stream in a very dark stock. Something like a beef stock, for example. Afterwards, you simply season, you strain out the mirepoix, and your espagnole is done. Now, sauce espagnole is commonly used for very rich, very deep sauces, something like a demi-glace, which I might talk about in another episode. Although not really the same, Cajun cuisine also kind of uses a dark roux like espagnole. The only difference is that the mirepoix that they use is slightly different. Instead of using carrots, they use bell peppers. So those are the 3 roux sauces done. So going to the next one is tomato sauce. Now, I'm sure you all know what tomato sauce is. You saute some onions and some garlic and some olive oil in the saucepan. You add a little squeeze of tomato paste and then a can of like crushed tomatoes. And then you simmer it until it's thickened, until the acidity of the tomatoes is cut back. Add your salt and pepper, maybe a little Italian seasoning. And that's tomato sauce. And so, of course, tomato sauce is used to flavor many dishes like pasta and pizza, but it also works well as a base for other sauces. Like, for example, add a splash of vodka and cream, you got a vodka sauce that you can use on pasta. Or if you add ground beef, you have what's typically called a non-traditional bolognese. That's because the actual bolognese is made differently. So the final sauce, as part of the 5 French mother sauces, is the hollandaise. And of the 5, this is easily the most complicated to make. So first you want to reduce vinegar in a saucepan until it's slightly lower in volume, and you want to stream it into some egg yolks. From there, you whisk the egg yolks over a double boiler, so that's basically just a big bowl over a pot of gently simmering water. And you want to whisk those egg yolks until it enters the ribbon stage, where you sort of like got your whisk, you dip it in, you lift it up, and the egg yolks just kind of flow down like a ribbon. That's the ribbon stage. And so once it reaches that stage, you just want to take it off the heat. You want to very slowly whisk in melted butter until it's very thick, a pale yellow. From there, you just season, and that is hollandaise sauce. Now, of course, hollandaise is often associated with eggs benedicts, or say roasted asparagus with a little sauce poured over. But it also serves as an excellent base for a béarnaise sauce. And so to make a béarnaise sauce, you follow the same steps as a hollandaise, but you want to add some shallots, some tarragon into that vinegar reduction that I talked about earlier, and also some chopped fresh tarragon into the hollandaise itself, and that would be a béarnaise sauce. So anyway, that was the 5 French mother sauces, and that will conclude the first part of this multi-part series about making sauces. So anyway, back to you, Aiden.
All right. So I will say this. Sauces are definitely extremely important, guys. I think that every single sauce is specifically made for a specific dish. Like, for example, what I heard, hollandaise. That's like an egg sauce. So it's meant for eggs usually. But you know what? Imagine if I had to combine chocolate. Maybe imagine putting chocolate sauce on a fish dish. Now, obviously, if you're French, you might be making les fiches au chocolat, which is fish and chocolate. But I mean, for me, I don't think that's a A-OK. That's a no-K. No. So honestly, I will ask for you, Logan. What is your favorite type of sauce? Is it a roux sauce? Is it a tomato-based sauce? Is it a hollandaise? What's your favorite sauce?
Oh, I'm really not sure. There's a whole lot of sauces. If we're talking about the 5 mother sauces that I talked about specifically, I would definitely go for the hollandaise sauce.
Oh, really? It's like one of the hardest ones to do. But you know what? To each their own. You know what? Somebody fancy will definitely like that. And you know what? It is a delicious, creamy based sauce. So I guess it goes on a lot of things. Thank you so much, Logan. I really appreciate it. It's always great to know what type of cooking knowledge you're going to be sharing with us today. So thank you so much. And now for everybody, if you guys know, I think it's time for something very important. What is it? I think I always say the cherry on top of the Youth Connect. We always have to start off with Jeffrey, our live musician.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to be playing one of my original songs called "A New Love." It's always good to spread some love around the world. So here we are. New love is like the sunrise over the ocean in spring. Firefly brings light to the darkness that makes my heart sing. Open your eyes and you see a new beginning for you and me. Sail across the ocean, this our chance to be free. Please say you agree. You agree. Join me on a journey to discover who we are. In the arms of a lover, we don't know how far. Let me hold you in my arms and shed you from this pain. There'll be lots of ups and downs, smiles and droplets of rain. This romantic tale of new beginnings. So open your eyes and you'll see a new beginning for you and me. This is a chance to be free. Just say you agree. Just say you agree. Just let go of the past. Don't think or worry if this lasts will last. Just take care of it, just take a chance and risk the pain. I'll say it once again, because it's you and me. This our chance to be free. Will you be with me? Oh. Open your eyes and see a new beginning for you and me. It's a chance to be free. Just say you agree. A new beginning for you and me. It's a chance to be free. Just say you agree. Just let go of the past. Don't think a world that will last. Just take a chance and risk the pain. I'll say it once again. This is you and me. It's a chance to be free. Will you be with me? So open your eyes and see a new beginning for you and me. It's a chance to be free. Just say you agree. It's a chance to be free. Please say you agree. Thank you, everybody. This is Jeffrey, your live musician, and make sure to check out my website, jeffreyackerman.com, and I'll see you all next week. Back to Aiden. Bye, everybody.
An absolutely amazing song, and I'm pretty sure it's a brand new one. Jeffrey always coming up with some amazing beats for the song. Absolutely wonderful, Jeff. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of our Youth Connect. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
And don't forget to click the notification bell.
I will say thank you to all my co-hosts. So thank you so much, Logan. Thank you so much, Nibras. Thank you so much, Jeff. And of course, thank you so much, Kevin. And everyone that is watching as well, thank you for tuning in. And we will see you all next time. Catch you later, guys, and have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Catch you later.